Hello, my name is Margarida Costa. I'm 16 years old, and today I'll be talking about the Brazilian culture, more specifically about the Brazilian music. So, Brazil is the largest country in South America and the fifth largest nation in the world. It forms an enormous triangle on the eastern side of the continent, um, along with the Atlantic Ocean. The Brazilian landscape is very varied, and it is most well known for its dense forests, including the Amazon, which is the world's largest jungle. Throughout the years, the Brazilian culture has evolved, and one of the main distinctions of their culture is their diversified music. Brazilian music developed many unique and original styles, such as sertanejo, funk, bossa nova, samba, etc. So, firstly, I will be talking about sertanejo, which is a music style that had its origins in the countryside of Brazil in the 1920s. Its contemporary development made it the most popular music style in 2000s and 2010s. Sertanejo songs have been played since the 90s in the top Brazilian music charts. Many sertanejo artists are duos, at times formed by siblings, typically singing vocal harmonies, especially major thirds, and deploying frequent vibrato. Men have traditionally dominated the scene, although some women, such as Marília Mendonça, Nayara Azevedo, and Maiara Maraíza, have achieved mainstream success in the 21st century. Um, the genre of music that has the most impacting message is funk. This type of music was popularized in the 80s in Rio de Janeiro favelas, the city's predominantly Afro-Brazilian slums. From the mid 90s on, it was a mainstream phenomenon in Brazil. Funk songs discuss topics as varied as poverty, human dignity, racial pride of black people, violence, social injustice, etc. The internationally famous vocalists Anitta and MC Kevinho are two of the most notorious funk singers. So, thirdly, I will be talking about bossa nova. This is a popular type of music that has evolved especially from the 50s on, from a union of samba and cool jazz. The worldwide song that is known worldwide, as I said, called Garota de Ipanema, composed by Antonio Carlos Jobim and later by Vinícius de Moraes in 1962, is considered the second most performed in the history of bossa nova music after Yesterday, a Beatles song. It had more than 500 versions with different interpreters, in addition to being included in about 1,050 albums all around the world. The song has already been performed by several many singers such as Frank Sinatra, Amy Winehouse, Cher, Madonna, etc. So this way we can easily realize that bossa nova is now a phenomenon around the world. Finally, I'm presenting one of the most exclusive distinguishes about the Brazilian culture, samba. Samba is often called the dance of the Brazilians, and it's recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. The Brazilian composer and researcher Ney Lopes described samba as the most impressive phenomenon of the 20th century, and in 100 years it went from being a persecuted culture to a symbol of a nation. Today, samba is considered the joyful, lively, and rhythmic dance of carnival in Brazil. There are many different styles, just as there are many different types of samba music. And it can be said with certainty that samba is one of the most popular Latin American dances. So today, when people think of samba, the first thing that goes to their mind is the famous carnival in Rio de Janeiro. During the carnival, the samba schools perform with thousands of elaborately dressed dancers and show their interpretation of that year's theme. Carnival in Rio is definitely one of the main attractions for tourists and a great tradition for everyone who shares a Brazilian nationality. To sum up, I consider the Brazilian music a very diversified, pleasant, and particularly interesting kind of music. I think it represents a huge portion of a nation's culture, and it can simultaneously spread an incredible important meaning about prejudice while still being joyful and vivacious. Personally, I love it, and that's my presentation. I hope you like it, and thanks a lot. Bye.
Hi, today I will be talking about the Brazilian culture, specifically about their gastronomy. Food, among many other things, is able to characterize Brazil on our atmospheres on this planet. When the Portuguese colonizers got to Brazil, they influenced on their culinary, adapting their own plates to the ingredients that Brazilians had to offer. We can divide its culture in four different points of Brazil. The north of Brazil had a huge influence from the tribes that lived there before the Portuguese. Their most famous food is açaí. Considered a super aliment to the population, it's an essential ingredient on drinks, yogurts. The second part of this country is the northeast one, where most of the foods from here have coconut milk from the African culture. The tropical weather from this area influences a lot on the way they get their food, where the fish is the principal one thanks to the coast that bats this region. The tapioca is the king on this coast. Created by the Indian, it's a kind of flour that is fried and served like so. South of Brazil, the only region in the entire country that has a food culture with bases in Italy, German, Portuguese and Spanish foods. Churrasco, the world-known dinner, has the principal components the meat, french fries and the famous beer. Last but not least, southeast of Brazil, the type of gastronomy where the basic foods are the prevalent in their culture. The national meal in Brazil that happens to be from this area is feijoada. It was created with the basis in Portugal meal, cassoulet, but with the Brazilian ingredients. So, to sum up, Brazil has enormous importance in the gastronomy of every country around the globe. Its food are recognized in every place and enjoyed by everyone. For me, an incredibly interesting culture due to the fact of so many tribes and cultures that have passed on the country.